welcome to All Steelers Talk, your home for everything Pittsburgh Steelers, presented by allsteelers.com. The Pittsburgh Steelers should go sign Jaylon Smith, right? Yeah, right. It's a pretty easy answer at this point. They've missed out on Stephon Gilmore. They should have at least called about Stephon Gilmore, because even if he hit the free agency market and he was looking for $15 million, he's not out of the Steelers' price range. He never should have been. And to know that he was traded for a sixth round pick, one pick higher than the Steelers gave up for Ahkello Witherspoon, who has been active for 1 out of 4 games this season, means that they missed out on a good opportunity, really a great opportunity to sign a cornerback in a secondary that is very vulnerable right now and dealing with an injury to Cam Sutton. Should have made the move happen. They didn't. That's okay. Missed opportunities are a thing in the NFL. They happen constantly. The Steelers missed one 2 weeks ago with Richard Sherman. They should have signed Richard Sherman. They did not. And whether or not they made a phone call is still, that's closed doors. We don't know if that happened. It should have happened. If it didn't happen, that's a problem. Jaylon Smith is a chance to revive or make up for pretty much all of that. He's an inside linebacker. And no, the Steelers don't need an inside linebacker right now. They have 2 starters, Joe Schobert and Devin Bush, and it's not time to give up on either of them, even if Devin Bush isn't really playing up to his potential. He's coming back from an ACL surgery. It takes just about a year to recover from a knee injury, and it's been a year a week ago. So he's still got time to adjust mentally and physically back to this game. And I believe that by the end of the season, he probably will, and he'll play fine. Joe Schobert has been a great addition, and anybody who thinks that he isn't playing up to par football is totally missing what he's here to do. He's here to be an upgraded version of a reliable inside linebacker. Last season, they had Vince Williams for a while, who was a reliable inside linebacker, not in pass coverage. Robert Spillane at times is a reliable inside linebacker, not in pass coverage. Devin Bush at times is a reliable all-around inside linebacker. Joe Schobert is a constantly reliable inside linebacker. Is he going to make a bunch of splash plays? No. But chances are 9 out of 10 times he's not going to get beat. Chances are 9 out of 10 times he's going to be in the right position to at least try to make a play on the football. Stop a play from the offense being made. That's what he's here to be, and he plays that role quite well. Jaylon Smith is just another addition to that. He's a 2019 Pro Bowler who, yes, granted, has very much so underplayed his contract in Dallas, and it probably was time to get him out of a Cowboys uniform and somewhere else. And honestly, I think it works out for both parties. It gives Dallas a chance to regroup and find somebody new. Just move on from a situation that wasn't working out, that they desperately wanted to work out. And on the other side of that, Jaylon Smith finds a new home and a new chance in the NFL with a team that hopefully gives him an opportunity to grow, develop, and turn into who he is, which he's not a superstar. He's never been a superstar. In college, yeah, he was the next greatest thing ever. That's a long ways away and a knee surgery. Right now, he's a guy that could come in here, and in here I mean the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room, and be another Joe Schobert. And how great is that? The Steelers can have not 1, not 2, but 3 reliable inside linebackers to constantly rotate throughout a game, which benefits them pretty much across the board. It allows Devin Bush not to have so much on his plate that he can't handle it, and fans continue to just knock him down. Oh, he wasn't worth the number 10 overall pick. That shouldn't have happened. Get rid of him. It's time to replace him. There needs to be more options. What's going on with Devin Bush? Man, he's just coming back from an ACL surgery. It's tough to do, and he's doing it fine, but it's a slow progress. Zach Banner had to spend the first couple of weeks on IR. He still isn't back from the same injury that happened much earlier in the season. You can't say that these injuries are easy to come back from. You can't say that playing football after a year when you just snapped your knee in half, literally tore a ligament that holds it together, and you're just okay to go run out there on the field, play some football. The most violent sport in the world. That's not true. It's not true, and it's not capable. And Devin Bush knows that. Everybody in the Steelers uniform knows that. They understand that Devin Bush needs time to come back and be 100%. Right now, he's pretty close. That's still not 100%. Joe Schobert, still learning the defense, still not 100% comfortable in this group. The two of them together, still not 100% comfortable together. Add Jaylon Smith out there, and hey, maybe it takes time for them to mesh as well. And it's obviously going to, but it gives them time to mesh with options. It gives the Steelers the ability to say, hey, Devin Bush is kind of struggling right now. He can't keep up with this tight end. Jaylon, go jump out there. You're a pass coverage guy. See if you can do it. Joe's really struggling right now. Him and Devin don't seem to be on the same page mentally. Yo, Jaylon, go out there. See if you can fix this up. Devin Bush, Joe Schobert, Jaylon Smith. Those are three guys that will start pretty much anywhere in the NFL. Why would you not want them all in one linebacker room? The Steelers did it with Melvin Ingram, who's a guy who right now would probably start pretty much anywhere, who needed a veteran outside linebacker. Obviously, the NFL's filled with edge rushers that are superstars these days, but Melvin Ingram should be considered one of them. He's played very, very well to this point in the season, and he looks like a guy who, if Alex Highsmith was not here, would fit into that starting role so comfortably. Why not add another Melvin Ingram? Why not have a three-headed monster on the inside and on the outside? Why not boost the defense just a little bit more? Doesn't make any sense. But it's early. The Steelers have not made a deal official. They haven't even been reported as a team that is out there talking to them, but maybe they should be, and that should happen pretty much now. If they miss out on this opportunity, it's not the end of the world, but it is definitely something that everyone should look at and go, why? Why were they not a team that was in the hunt? Why were they not a team that was making phone calls? What happened here? What went wrong? He's a Notre Dame guy. The Steelers love Notre Dame guys. I mean, I get it. It's 8 hours down the road, but it's down the road in Pittsburgh, and that's close enough for at least Mike Tomlin and Kevin Colbert to know, well, we probably scouted this guy before, and they definitely have scouted Jaylon Smith before to know enough about him to know if he's a guy that would fit into this defense. Everything about him says that he would. He knows how to play that scheme. He knows how to play that game plan. It makes almost no sense for the Steelers to add him. At the same time, if they didn't, it's not time to give up on Devin Bush. It's definitely not time to give up on Joe Schobert. These are two guys that will mesh throughout the season. Jaylon Smith definitely boosts that, and he probably adds a little bit to everything else around him. I mean, you could use Jaylon Smith as somewhat of a rover because he's that athletic. I mean, he's not going to keep up with guys in the slot, but you could rush him pretty much all over the field. He's got great instincts. He's got great athleticism. He can keep up with most tight ends and, maybe not a Juju Smith-Schuster, but a slower Juju Smith-Schuster maybe, and he's physical enough to at least body him a little bit at the line of scrimmage. That's who you're adding if you add a Jaylon Smith. The Cowboys didn't really appreciate that, but then again, the Cowboys they're the Dallas Cowboys, and they're about as big of a question mark as anybody on the football field or in a football uniform in the NFL as a whole. It's Jerry Jones, man. It's always going to be Jerry Jones. You do a draft from a rocket ship, people are going to look at you a little weird. We're going to look at them a little weird. And the move might come at the best time maybe ever. The Steelers are a little banged up on defense. Cameron Hayward has been added to the injury report. Cam Sutton's dealing with a groin injury that's likely going to keep him out a little bit. They just got Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt back, but let's be honest. Neither of them looked 100% against the Green Bay Packers. This defense is pretty banged up. James Pierre is a major liability in the secondary. Trey Norwood has just been basically removed because he should be basically removed. He's a seventh-round rookie, and he shouldn't have been in there to begin with. Terrell Edmonds is looking worse by the day, but that's probably because Minkah Fitzpatrick is trying to do way too much. You see where I'm going with this? The Steelers' defense is all around a little right now and could definitely get better. That being said, you add a Jaylon Smith, you just kind of boost the all-around morale. You boost the all-around talent. You just say, this is a group of guys that maybe we don't have everything in place, but we have enough going for us right now to make things happen. You have strong inside linebackers, strong outside linebackers, a solid defensive line, who is also pretty banged up right now. You can make up for things like a James Pierre. You can make up for things like Cam Sutton missing time or TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith not being 100% healthy because there's guys around them to make plays. And as long as somebody on a defense is making a play, enough is being done. It's defensive football. It's the greatest team environment there is. It's not an offense where there's playmakers. It's not an NBA court where one guy can literally take over an entire franchise. It is an NFL defense where if everything clicks perfectly, you have guys like Troy Polamalu and Casey Hampton and James Farrior and James Harrison and Ryan Clark and Ike Taylor, who maybe one-on-one, outside of obviously a couple of them, are not superstars, but all together are all superstars. The Steelers defense has that talent pretty much everywhere. So to boost it a little bit, to add a little bit extra juice is never a bad idea. Never. The Steelers need to make this happen. And if they don't, it's definitely a missed opportunity. The end of the world missed opportunity? No. I think Stephen Gilmore missed opportunity might be end of the world missed opportunity for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think missing Richard Sherman when they had an opportunity at Richard Sherman is end of the world missed opportunity for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those were positions of need. A cornerback at this time in the season allows the Steelers to do so much more than they are right now. It allows Cam Sutton to be Cam Sutton. It allows Arthur Millette to just play a minimal role because right now he plays well, but sometimes you ask him to do too much. It takes Trey Norwood out of the game and allows him to develop on the sideline. And it asks James Pierre to just be James Pierre once in a while and not put so much pressure on him. Jaylon Smith isn't going to do all that, but he's still a great signing. He's a classic signing. He is a Mike Tomlin style signing. A couple of weeks ago, Mike Tomlin jumped on the Pat McAfee show and said, there's a lot of guys out there that I want when they're cheap and old. Jaylon Smith is 26 years old. But right now, he might be cheap, and he might be in Mike Tomlin's wheelhouse. And if he is, the Steelers need to get him.